When it comes to large-screen TVs, there's always this balance between sheer size, picture quality, and smart features. The Amazon Fire TV 75 inches Omni Mini LED series is an interesting player in that space because it combines a massive display, a fully integrated Fire TV experience, and a built-in sound solution, all in one package. Today, we're going deep into what makes this setup unique and whether it's actually worth considering for your living room or home theater. Starting with the display itself, the 75-inch screen is impressive, both in scale and in technology. Amazon opted for a mini LED backlighting system, which is a step up from traditional full-array LED panels. What that means is you get a lot more precise control over individual dimming zones. The result is better contrast, deeper blacks, and a more dynamic image without the haloing that sometimes comes with lower-end full-array LED displays. Mini LED is still not exactly OLED, but it gets surprisingly close in many scenarios, especially in a bright living room setting where olds can struggle with reflections. In terms of resolution, this model comes in standard 4K, which is perfect for most content out there, and supports HDR10, HDR10+, and Dolby Vision. HDR performance is where Mini LED really shines because those precise dimming zones help highlights pop while keeping shadows intact. Watching high dynamic range content feels cinematic, especially with bright highlights like sunlight reflecting off a car or sparks in an action scene. Color reproduction is vibrant but not oversaturated, leaning towards a more natural tone out of the box, though you can always tweak it in the settings for your personal preference. One of the bigger talking points here is the integration with Amazon's Fire TV platform. Unlike TVs that simply have Fire TV as an app or add-on, this series essentially becomes a Fire TV device itself. That means you get the same interface you're used to on a Fire Stick or Fire Cube, but without needing extra hardware. Alexa is built in, and voice commands work seamlessly both for navigation and for smart home control. If you're already deep into the Amazon ecosystem, this makes everything from streaming to controlling smart lights easier than ever. Speaking of streaming, all the usual suspects are here. Prime Video, Netflix, Disney+, HBO Max, YouTube, and Apple TV Plus all run natively and with a smooth interface. There's also a live TV integration feature if you use services like Sling, Hulu Live, or YouTube TV. One of the subtle advantages of the Fire TV system is how well it handles content discovery, suggesting shows and movies based on your viewing habits. That AI-driven recommendation system isn't perfect, but it's more helpful than a lot of smart TV platforms out there. Now, let's talk about audio because Amazon isn't just giving you a TV, they're pairing it with the Fire TV Soundbar Plus. This soundbar isn't an afterthought, it's designed to complement the big screen in both clarity and depth. You get multiple channels, a dedicated subwoofer, and support for Dolby Atmos, which means a lot of content will sound more immersive right out of the box. Unlike setups where you buy a separate soundbar, this one integrates with the TV's interface and remote, so you don't have to manage multiple devices. It's not going to compete with a full high-end home theater system, but for a single setup, it's a significant upgrade over the typical flat-panel speakers. Another aspect to consider is size and design. At 75 inches, this isn't a small device, and Amazon has done a pretty good job with the aesthetics. Bezels are slim, giving you a more modern, almost floating effect, and the stand is sturdy enough to hold the TV securely on a tabletop without drawing attention. For wall mounting, it's VESA compatible, and despite the mini LED and built-in soundbar, the overall profile is surprisingly thin. Performance-wise, the TV handles motion well, which is critical for sports or fast-paced action movies. Amazon has included features like MMC, which smooths out motion, though purists might notice the slight soap opera effect. For gaming, it's also reasonably capable, supporting variable refresh rates and low latency modes. 4K at 60 Hz is standard, and it's compatible with next-gen consoles, though it doesn't push into ultra-high refresh rates like some gaming monitors. Still, for a TV this size, the combination of 4K, low input lag, and HDR is more than adequate for most gamers. One minor point worth noting is calibration and setup. Out of the box, Amazon's picture profile is bright and vivid, but if you want the most accurate colors, you may need to tweak the settings. Thankfully, the interface makes it relatively easy to adjust brightness, contrast, color temperature, and local dimming intensity. For those who care about accuracy, you can achieve a cinematic feel without needing professional calibration tools. Energy efficiency is surprisingly decent for a 75-inch mini LED, though obviously it's going to consume more power than smaller LED TVs. If you're concerned about electricity usage, The TV has eco modes that can dim the backlight when full brightness isn't necessary, extending the lifespan of the LED array as well. The overall experience with the Amazon Fire TV 75 inches Omni Mini LED series is one of integration. Amazon clearly designed this to be more than just a display, it's meant to be a hub for entertainment and smart home control. Having the Fire TV OS built directly into the panel removes a lot of friction, no extra devices, no separate remotes, and no complicated setups. Everything from switching streaming apps to using Alexa to dim your lights or play music through smart speakers feels cohesive. Build quality is solid. The panel doesn't